Hello. Shit. Oh no, everyone's looking at me. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I remember back in high school and early college, I would hate going to parties. I'd walk in, I'd feel tense, and I would just get this feeling like everyone's looking at me. Usually, to avoid attention, I would just play on my phone in a nice quiet corner, swiping through the home screen and clicking on random ass apps I know I didn't need to use. Even before the event, I would trust out knowing I'd feel like this and pray for the day to pass. If this happens to you a lot, then you probably have some form of social anxiety. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, so if you think you might have this, then seek professional help. This video is simply me showing you how I chose to deal with my problems. Social anxiety is defined as a chronic mental health condition in which social interaction causes irrational anxiety. This is very common, especially in today's world where we have things like our phones that keep us from interacting with others, so don't feel alone. There are over 200,000 cases in the US and a bunch more out there who haven't even been diagnosed by a doctor. So if you suffer from this, how do you fix it? Well, since this is a problem that's going on up here, then logically we need to fix what our thoughts do when we are put in these situations. Our initial thoughts are, everyone's looking at me, or everyone is judging me. But if we can tell ourselves otherwise, then the problem should be solved, right? And how do I do this? Well, there are a few things I would tell myself and a few things that I've come to realize in the process. Number 1. You aren't there to party with everyone. Chances are, you won't meet every person in the room, so don't feel like you have to entertain the entire crowd. What I like to do is find a small group of people I do know and hang around them. Once I feel comfortable enough to branch out, I will. I don't like to put any pressure on myself because at that point, it just takes away the fun. Often I find myself just needing to mix in with the energy of the room so I don't feel so isolated. Imagine a glass of water and an ice cube being dropped into it straight from the freezer. What happens? It cracks. But as time goes on, the ice begins to melt, and before you know it, the ice cube becomes water, and you never even knew it was there. Number 2. If you were to help a friend who was going through the same thing, what would you tell them? You would say something along the lines of, no one's looking at you, they're overthinking it, or you would just tell them to have fun. For problems like this, I often found that the best advice comes from someone who's not in it. Number 3. And this is the most important one that I learned, and probably the most obvious for most people. No one cares. And I don't mean that in a way that no one cares about your life or whatever you're going through, but everyone has their own life, with their own problems, and their own reason for being there. You might be the main character in your life, but to them, you're just another person living in their world. Just a background character in a video game. And that's okay. But hey, that's just my 2 cents. If you found this video helpful, then hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new to the channel, join the team by hitting the subscribe button, as well as the bell icon to stay up to date on my future content. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.